everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Grumble, and we're back today with another entry in our Deathloop lore series. I wanted to delve deeper into the backstories of our esteemed visionaries, and so I did. In this series, each week I'll give you the inside scoop on their characters, tidbits and trivia you might have missed. Obviously, be aware that these videos are filled with spoilers for the game's critical path as well as side quests. Let's go! Today, we're taking a closer look, so much closer than strictly advisable, at Egor Serling. Scientist, not a doctor. Egor Serling wishes not to be perceived, except when he does, and when he inevitably doesn't get the recognition he wants, he turns violent with a shotgun. Egor Serling is Aeon's co-founder. Same as Alexis, he was born into a wealthy family, although he has left riches and philanthropy behind in order to work for Aeon and his true calling, psychometry. Contrary to Alexis, Igor sees himself as an ascetic, needing no physical or spiritual pleasures, living only for the science. Now, I hear you asking, what the fuck is psychometry? Psychometry is a pseudoscience that is based on the assumption that not only matter, but the soul of things and people can be measured and quantified. Igor also claims that by making contact with an item, things can be learned about that item. That's called extrasensory perception. His slab is called Ether and renders him invisible. The code name the Motherland spies gave him is Ghost. His characterization is that of a man who feels invisible and undervalued, and upon not receiving the respect he craves, makes that his whole deal. Wenji doesn't take his science seriously. The others just disregard him as eccentric and annoying at best, and a genuine failure at worst. When Colt has succeeded in funneling them both into attending Alexis' party at Dorsey Manor, Igor pisses off Wenji so much that she pushes him through a roof window into the building below. His insecurity and inferiority complex mean that he resorts to absolute assholery in order to get what he wants from people, thereby only alienating them further. He's got a giant ego, but is socially insecure. Juliana lampshades this in the 60-second minute interview. In the answers she wrote for him, she either intentionally or inadvertently highlights the gulf between his contradictory want of appreciation and his simultaneous self-image of the solitary genius apart from everyone else. He wants the recognition, but also the solitude and prestige of the ivory tower. He searches for acceptance and acknowledgement of his scientific so-called breakthroughs, but falls back on anger and resentment when it's withheld. He's quick to remind people that they owe him for discovering Black Reef and founding Aeon. He turns violent and then uses ether to stab people in the back. He's paranoid and distrustful, both fearing the ridicule of others and that they might interfere with his experiments. So he riddles the complex with mines at night and forces everyone out of the vicinity on pain of death. Same as Wenji, Igor wants to exploit the loop to make a scientific discovery and prove that psychometry is real. Igor also uses security devices at the complex that are mainly based on visibility, meaning light refraction. Using ether, those won't be set off, so Igor can move around freely even if someone, nudge nudge wink wink, interferes with the trip mines. However, proximity-based explosives, such as proximity mines, react to heat. Igor learned this the hard way when, and I quote from Motherland spy Beetlecoin's report, as target Ghost discovered during a nearly fatal attempt to commune with a spiritual entity while high as shit and wearing nothing but his slab. In parentheses, it's a wonder he didn't lose anything. He's obsessed with proving that he can talk to the future, and has picked up a strange transmission through his arrays. This turns out to be a dishonored Easter egg, the Drunken Whaler tune from the Knife of Dunwall trailer. If Igor attends the party without Wenji there to listen to him be annoying, he gets roped into a pretend seance by a few Eternalists, which is really just a ploy for him to embarrass himself. Fun fact, Igor begged Alexis for a brain enlargement treatment. Alexis, after much prodding, provided him with the requisite meds. However, these have to be administered via enema and really only make Igor dizzy for most of the day. Now, how the fuck did Igor even find Black Reef? The answer is Colt. It's unknown by which sources Igor found out about Black Reef or how he learned of Colt, who was, prior to Aeon's founding, locked up in a mental institution, presumably for treatment of his quote-unquote delusions of having been locked in a time loop for over 15 years. I'll talk more about that exact timeline and Operation Horizon in Colt's video later on in the series. Igor was the one who got Colt discharged from the institution and convinced him to join Aeon. Together, they then undertook the first expedition out across the ice to find the island of Black Reef again. In Aeon propaganda material, it is claimed they quote-unquote discovered the island together. Going back to the mainland, he founded Aeon together with Alexis and the others. Igor also had Colt record some of the earliest promotional material, and he recorded a video explaining the loop to freshly arriving Eternalists. You can play this video in the control center of the complex. Igor also seems to be aware of Colt's echoes, aka the floating messages that remind him of things he can't remember. According to a few of these echoes, Colt taught Igor to shoot. And now, again for a bit of fun, this one of the 7 strictures that I think matches Igor pretty well. Restrict the roving feet that love to trespass. They pay no heed to the boundary stones of other men's fields. They wander into foreign lands only to return with their souls blackened by iniquity. Where have you strayed that destruction now comes behind you? Would you walk across burning coals or broken glass? Then why do you prowl into the homes of the honest or into the dens of hidden things? For the result is the same. You will fall into the void. Instead, rest your feet on a firm foundation so that when the winds of the outsider shriek against you, you will stand firm and not be overthrown. And that's all about Igor. Thank God. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and leave a comment on your way out. It's really much appreciated. If you want to support my channel, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/AnnaMarabella or my Ko-fi page at ko-fi.com/grumble. You can either donate or become a monthly subscriber, receiving access to my writing and videos before everyone else, including the inside track about what I'm working on and what's coming up next in March and April. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss what's next in this series. Also, check out my Deathloop videos, both live streams and Let's Play episodes, my just completed Dishonored 2 Let's Play, and more lore videos. All of these playlists are on screen now. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fulfilling day.